One of the more interesting facets of achieving godhood is the ability to cross the interdimensional thresholds of alternate universes. See, upon realizing that I had spent my entire waking existence confined to the world of a digital role-playing game, I decided to explore the endless possibilities of the multiversal cosmos. After all, I had to do fucking something to keep myself occupied during my 2,000-year-long nap after the Battle of Red Mountain. But even my megalomaniacally superior mind could not have foreseen the journey that was to come. For upon entering the inferior realm known as Earth, I was informed by way of magical letter that I was, in fact, a wizard. I was stunned. Not because of the revelation that I was a wizard, no fucking shit, I'm a god, but because the letter was addressed to one Mr. Vorin Dagoth, instead of Almighty Lord Dagoth Ur, eternal dreamer of the world and the realms beyond. It was a defamation of my fucking divinity, and I wondered who would dare greet a god with such irreverent disrespect. But behold, a signature at the letter's end, Albus Dumbledore, headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And so, in accepting my offer to enroll in Hogwarts as a student, I set myself upon one single goal, killing that crusty Enwa Dumbledore and incorporating his kingdom into my own. They sent me this whole list of required school supplies, including an enchanted stick that's apparently needed to cast spells in this realm. Like, Joanne, are you fucking for real right now? Bitch, is this how you've decided to honor the 6th house and the tribe unmourned? Fuck that. I wasn't about to murder Dumbledore with some goddamn magic twig, unless that magic twig was my Dagoth. Just kidding, kinda, but seriously, I don't like the look of wands or the pretentious lore behind them. I figured I'd find some other way to wreck store-brand Gandalf's shit without tapping into the inferior magic system of Rowling's putrescent mortal mind. So I got myself a modified Smith & Wesson Model 500 revolver with Daedric rounds. Let's see that disrespectful dickwit Dumbledore protego his way out of this shit. I'll show you what happens when you call me Mr. Vorin Dagoth, motherfucker. The journey to Hogwarts was batshit bizarre. For a moment I even thought I'd accidentally ingested a handful of hallucinogenic Telvanni shrooms. The kids here use an incredibly advanced, presumably Dwemer-made transportation device known as a Hogwarts Express to get to the school. The blast of the engine horn damn near made me Malakath my unmentionables as we left King's Cross Station. What an experience. I do not know how these Enwas manage to operate such technology. The truly strange ways of this realm's truly strange people. Their cuisine was equally mystifying, and I don't mean that as a compliment. Seriously, I wouldn't even feed most of this diabetes-inducing bullshit to my least favorite Argonians. And some of the snacks even have like fucking sadistic elements to them. They've got chocolate frogs that are enchanted to be alive when you eat them. Like what the fuck? About halfway through the trip to Hogwarts, some old hag strolled by my carriage with a snack cart and told me I could have anything I wanted for free, since it was my first day. All I asked for was a fucking ash yam, and she looked at me like I had 3 eyes. Luckily, I had the foresight to pack a baby Argonian filet mignon before leaving Tamriel, so I had enough eats to get me through the trip to the castle. Despite my divine charisma, I actually had a really hard time conversing with my fellow classmates aboard the Hogwarts Express. They didn't seem very interested in my theories on the biological inferiority of Argonians and Khajiit, and they also seemed somewhat put off by my golden mask and gray skin. Fucking adolescent racists. I suppose it didn't help that I was a couple millennia older than the entire student population. And frankly, I always hated kids even when I was one. Plus, they were all the filthy spawn of outlanders. So I eventually decided to just keep to myself until we arrived at our destination. I gotta say, witnessing Hogwarts School of whatever firsthand only reaffirmed my resolve to assassinate Dumbledore. As headmaster, he was perpetuating a shockingly archaic system of tribalism, bigotry, and cultural superiority. Did you know they fucking enslave elves in the wizarding world? Yeah, even at Hogwarts. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Shame, shame. Although I will admit the elves of this realm do look a little deliverance-ish, if you catch my drift. Still no excuse. All mer, even banjo-playing mer with siblings for parents, are superior to men of any kind. Except Orsimer, of course. Sorry, fellas, not letting you sneak into the racially superior category just yet. Maybe start worshipping a god that isn't a non-metaphorical piece of shit, and we'll talk. Anyway, yeah, Hogwarts sustains itself on the enslavement of our hopefully extremely distant elven cousins. And to make matters worse, the school pointlessly divides its students into 4 separate houses, thereby pinning them against one another and fostering a tribal mindset that will likely remain a part of their psyche for the duration of their lives. It's just terrible, awful, absolutely reprehensible. Also, where in the fuck is House Dagoth, you contemptible Enwas? I was enraged. Even in this distant realm, my tribe was to go unmourned once more. It was time to put my racially superior foot down. Dumbledore had dishonored the House of Dagoth for the last time. I soon found my window of opportunity. Upon arrival, the students and I were escorted into the Great Hall of Hogwarts Castle. The sorting ceremony was about to begin, and there at the head of the faculty table, Dumbledore in the flesh. I was first in line to be sorted. I won't lie, the sorting hat looked pretty fucking creepy, and he had the voice of an elderly chain smoker that was a little too eager to get handsy with my Dagoth. But I didn't want to blow my cover just yet, so I let them put the damn thing on my head. Yeah, he wasted no time wiggling his way into coziness, and he started doing all this weird psychoanalytical shit, trying to deduce the type of person I was and which house I should be sorted into. Said the hat while presumably craving another cigarette. Brave enough for Gryffindor, but too racist. Smart enough for Ravenclaw, but too cool and charismatic. Loyal enough for Hufflepuff, but too interesting and worth mentioning as an actual character. I'd say you belong in House Slytherin, but I don't think House Slytherin is psychotic enough. Why am I having such trouble sorting you into a house? By that point, I'd had enough. I stood, cast the predatory sorting hat to the floor, and declared with all the might of my divine lungs, "Because I've already been sorted into House Dagoth, bruh." I turned to Dumbledore with my revolver upraised, and he reached his crusty hands for the ceiling of the grand hall. "Albus Dumbledore," I roared, "you shall dishonor the 6th house and the tribe unmourned no longer." But at that very moment, the headmaster and I were warped from the physical plane with the force of 1,000 Dagoths. It was as though we'd been cast into a wormhole, twisting and turning through a dream sleeve that was beyond even my own control. When we awoke, Dumbledore and I found ourselves in a most compromising yet undeniably sensual position. We were lost, confused, as though reality itself had been altered before our very eyes. Dumbledore went pale, and not just because he was a pale-skinned outlander. No, he went pale as though overcome by a realization that he'd expected, a phenomenon I dare say he'd experienced before. He turned from me, rather rudely if I do say so myself, and frantically scrolled through the Dwemer communication device he called his cell phone. He then looked back at me, eyes wide, and revealed to me the article on the cell phone screen, saying, "Dagoth, I think Rowling just retconned us into being a couple." Well played, Joanne. By the foreskin of Nerevar, well fucking played.